Good morning. Today we are going to close read for the second time the text Uprising. We're going to look at essential question number 4, what's literary text really about? And number 5, how does interaction with text provoke thinking and response? As we will work through this different excerpt of Uprising, we're going to read through the text 3 times. First for what the text says, second for how the text says it, and third for why the text matters. As you read the excerpt the first time, you will be reading for what the text says. As we read for what the text says in phase 1, we are creating an objective summary of the text. Make sure you have an objective summary of each paragraph up there from the text. As we do this, we're looking at learning target number 5 to create an objective summary of the text, which means we're making a brief restatement of the most important points of the text that are all centered around the plot and the conflict without adding any personal opinions and only including the facts. We also need to make sure that as we're not adding our opinion, we're also not providing quotations that are word for word from the text. It should be put into our own words. In the second phase of the reading, we're going to be reading for how the text says it. As you reread the text, you're going to reread it focusing on the following question. How does the author show the contrasting points of view of the girls and their bosses, and to cite text evidence to support your response? As you read through this second phase of text, we're going to be reading this text looking at learning target number 8 to analyze how the author contrasts the points of view of different characters or narrators in the text. That means we're looking closely at specific parts or features that the author puts into the text to show the difference between 2 or more characters' perspectives in the written work. You're going to begin your response by explaining that the author contrasts the points of view by including, describing, providing, showing, comparing what, and you're going to finish that statement off. So as we do this phase of reading, we're going to begin by saying the author contrasts their points of view by, and then pick one, describing, including, comparing, describing, showing what. What is that feature you notice that the author uses to show that contrast between the girls and their bosses? What do you notice that the author uses to do that? The ellipse means that you have to finish the sentence off with your answer. That answer that you use right there is your claim. So as you rate that opening statement of your paragraph, you're making a claim in the form of an inference, conclusion, or generalization drawn from what you're noticing in the text. And then after you create that claim, you're going to follow that claim with your cited evidence. As you cite evidence, you're going to be citing evidence in the form of a fact, definition, or concrete detail to support that claim you make at the opening statement. It should have quotation marks around it. It should be word for word from the text. Once you do that, you're going to start your analysis, that full sentence analysis where you're connecting your quote to your claim and explaining how they are connected and how they can be supported. So in phase 3, once we reread it the final time, we're going to read it for why the text matters. As you reread the text the final time here, you're going to be reading to answer the following question. What themes developed mainly through the employees of the factory? Cite text evidence to support your response. So within this phase, you're going to be looking at learning target number 4 to analyze how a theme develops over the course of the text. Remember, that means to look closely at the specific parts or features the author uses to show that hidden message that's present throughout the entire work. As you create your opening statement for that, you're creating your claim. Remember, your claim is your inference, your conclusion, your generalization drawn from the text evidence that connects to that learning target about the theme. You would follow your claim with cited text evidence in the form of a direct quote, word for word from the text, and then follow your cited text evidence with your analysis, where you explain and show us the connections you found between your evidence and your opening claim. And that will finish all 3 phases of this close read. Go ahead and get working.